Last time on Lawful Stupid. Where we ended up last episode is the three of you're on the Panda Express, and you were just pulling out of this darkened area from where these azure torches went out. You can see on your right-hand side 3 canine-looking beasts. We're going to take this into narrative combat. Roll an attack for me.
So that's a 15 for hit?
Yeah, and so you just turn with the butt of your glaive and just straight the snout of this thing. And it hits, and it growls and roars as it becomes lifeless. You guys win.
Woo!
It is dead. I think Kato climbs back up into the Panda Express, and there's a gentle rap of the reins against sugar and spice. And as hoof meets cobblestone, you hear the sound of thunder break above you, and it begins to rain. Quick editorial note. I missed an item that we need to just address. Kato, when you carved up that shunter, I want you to roll a D100 for me to see how much those parts will be worth once you get to town and can trade.
Let me do this. 70 flat.
70 flat. Roll 3d6 for me.
That's 12 total.
So that is going to be 1 gold and 2 Eternium. What is EP, Shane?
I don't fucking know.
Extra points. Extra players.
Come on. It's fucking Electrum. So it's copper, silver, Electrum, gold?
Yeah. Electrum's kind of dumb, in my opinion.
That is how little I use anything outside of gold.
We want to call it 2 gold, and we'll call it a day.
What happened to platinum? What the fuck is an Electrum?
Platinum is 1 up, so gold goes into platinum.
Electrum is more than a silver, but less than a gold.
Oh, I gathered that from the friggin'
Yes, that's exactly right.
Thanks, D&D Beyond.
Wow. For the sake of not...
1 GP equals 2 EP.
So just have 2 gold.
How many silver pieces equal... It's 10 silver is 1 gold, right?
Yes.
Okay.
10 silver is 1 gold, yes.
Fuck Electrum, we're not using this. So
20.
That's stupid.
25 gold, call it.
25 gold? Oh, yeah, that's a good rounding number. No. Instead... I'm just going to convert that real quick. So it's going to be 2 gold and 4 silver.
Okay. Electrum.
That's weird as shit.
Not in my D&D.
I don't need any extra. Why have that weird half step? All right. Anyways, so sorry. We had to get that note out of the way. We wrapped up the last episode without letting Kato roll for his treasure. So again... Devin, what I would like you to do on your character sheet is mark shunter bits and in parentheses the value, because you haven't traded it in anywhere.
Shunter bits value.
I don't care what you call it, honestly, but you don't have.
I'm definitely calling it shunter bits.
Yeah. All right,
cool. Thank you.
As we ended last episode, the storm roared above you. It broke free and rain fell down. So now you are back on the path to Prineth, riding forth in a storm. This is not a tornado. It is not a giant thunderstorm, but it's almost like the heat, the humidity gave free. It birthed this storm, this rain upon you. And you have about 4 hours and some change left in travel time to get to Prineth. What do you want to do with this time, if anything?
I mean, I'm kind of tied to driving the car right now, so.
Yeah, I think sit in the cart. I don't want to get wet.
Can I retcon real quick and say that before we took off, I went around and casted mending on my cart on the pits the wolf got.
Do you have
the shunter?
Yeah, you have.
I do.
Yes, absolutely. I think you cleaned it up.
Yeah.
You repaired all the marks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Happy to give you that.
Appreciate you.
Okay. Well, if you have nothing else,
I think because I've been dwelling on this. The last time that I saw Darling as Kato was in the middle of the night, and I mean it's been even a couple of reunions, family reunions have come and gone, and we just keep like kind of missing each other, whether it's because I didn't attend or she didn't attend, and so I think if there's some downtime, if she is up, then I might just inquire a few things, and so I might saddle up next to you, and just not very like it's just I plop down, Darling Derringer, how have you been?
Well, I got covered in blood today, and it's been all right.
That's absolutely despicable, and I'm sorry for that. However, I do mean in the past several years.
I've also been alright then.
Less bloody, I hope?
Less bloody, more sparkly.
Well, you remained beautiful nonetheless.
She'll like bob her head and like accept this compliment. Like, yeah, I approve of this.
Are you just as fierce as you used to be? And I think I would like old, maybe like fights we would do or sparring we would do. He would do like a sparring attack, like just a kind of a jab at you to see if you like react to it, just with his hand.
I feel like since it was like an old game that they kind of did, she probably just like swat at it. It's like, what are you doing? Not little anymore.
But you still have it. Congratulations. So,
thank you.
What's the first thing you're going to do when we get to Prineth?
Probably shower proper.
He'll kind of look at himself, and he's got kind of this blood stains maybe a little bit on him that he missed, and he goes, perhaps I'll clean up as well.
I believe my letter says to go see Vanessa. So I'll go there. I assume you got the same thing as well?
Well, I was just told that there's some things that haven't been told to a lot of people, and seem to be important enough to make the trip home.
Well, gotta go find Dad.
I do need to see Grotto. I'm inserting Grotto. He's going to be a brother of ours, who can. He's actually kind of the one who helps like do my upgrades from time to time. He can work on me as as I need some upgrades or whatever.
Sure. If Grotto's in Prineth, then we'll discuss.
Yeah, hopefully he will show up this time and be able to help me.
Oh, he's just bad as
do some upgrades.
Toddy as well.
I know.
Him to show up anywhere?
They're basically one and the same.
Almost like a clone stamp.
A what?
It's a kind of spell where you can repeat the same thing over and over again.
Magic is weird.
You're telling me.
Well, I can see that I've probably talked your ear off, so I will leave you in silence for a little while until you beckon me.
Well, I'll be right here, fighting the humidity.
It was a pleasure to see you, Darling Derringer.
Mm-hmm. Shakes her head.
But does not say it back. Now that's it for me.
And we come back to the sound of hooves on cobblestone and the rain pouring on this your cart, the Panda Express. Is this well made or is this just made?
I think that like he got it at discount prices, but
Perfect.
he spent like a whole summer fixing it up.
I don't mean in the sense that. My question more is it like standard wood or is it like rich woods, like fancy woods that you put on?
No, God, no. No,
That's
it's
what
humble.
I thought. It's humble, right? So it's just made, right? You didn't nothing fancy. So the
Strong
rain,
wood, sturdy wood.
correct. The rain patters across, almost giving you a chorus to a lullaby to lull you to sleep as it putters on. And do you have like a roof over your head, like for the driver's seat?
I don't, no.
So you're just getting poured on whole time.
I love it though. I'm just like, I got my nose open. I'm smelling all the. It's like New World soup to me. It's like the whole world's just soaked and there's so many new things. I'm loving it.
You're picking up your sense are picking up on. The rain smells different here, right? Because all rain, fun fact, actually will smell different depending on where you are, because it pulls water from where you are. And so the rain actually smells different. It smells cleaner, almost. And you're smelling grass that you've never smelled, weeds you're really picking it up. And you guys travel for what feels like forever. And it only takes a couple hours for the rain to stop, but for a long time, Gustum gets poured on, and you guys hear the chorus of this summer storm. And I remind you, this is midnight, right? Or you are in the middle of the night, and you begin to slowly approach Prineth. The only foothold, the only true foothold to Agos. Before we launch into Prineth, is there anything anybody would like to check, confirm, or prep before we head that direction?
Yes. I would like to check my magical Derringer compass to see the location of the nearest Derringer estate.
Why don't you read that item?
I would love to.
You don't have to. If you don't have it pulled up, that's fine. What Shane is referring to is the Derringer amulet. And essentially, once per day, anybody who owns one of these amulets can use the amulet, and the outer ring will actually spin freely, and it will point in the direction of the nearest Derringer estate. And so you do that, you pull up your amulet, you activate it, and it spins for a second, and then it slows. And in the direction that you're going on the path to Prineth, it points north towards Prineth.
Understood.
We hear the almost conversational whinnies of Sugar and Spice as they pull us across these cobblestones, and our view starts to form. As the sun begins to rise in the east, sun is just rising, and the colors of orange and pink and yellows are spraying across the sky. Your vision is filled with no other than Prineth. Prineth is a marvel among marvels. It can only be described as a 3-level town stacked, where when you hear tiered cities, you think the wide city tier is at the bottom. It is a straight up city built on top of itself. From outside, you can see that there are 3 layers, And you can see this well before you actually approach the gates of Prineth. You can see that there are 3 layers, and from the outside you can see the top 2 decently well. And Prineth is a combination of cobblestone and Victorian-esque roofs and architecture, very built with aesthetic and utility in mind, but there's also this edge to it. And when I say edge, there is something new that's been making its way across Goron. There's been this almost industrialization of arcane technology that I don't know that any of you are super familiar with. Like their inner workings, maybe the naming. And if you want to roll history checks, we'll give you that opportunity.
Yeah. I will do that. I will gladly do so.
I've rolled a 0.
Excellent.
I'll also do it.
I've never seen that.
It's the first time you've seen it?
Yeah.
I got a 2.
I rolled an 11.
You would know that this technology, at the least, this industrial revolution, people are calling it Tortex. That is the name they've given this generic. It's more a brand than anything else. Instead of electronics, it's Tortex.
Would you say it's spelled Tortex, or is there
Tor? It's Tor. Tortech.
Oh, okay, Tortec.
Tortec.
It's torrent technology.
Yeah.
Yes, it's torrent technology.
Exactly. Tortoise technology. Got it.
Yep. And so you can see more of these blue azure torches, right, that are illuminating the sky, and as the sun casts its rays of hope, it's juxtaposed against these blue torches that are still illuminating this large area. Because the city itself is massive, but the ground surrounding it is equally as impressive. Everyone who has spent any time here is spending time fortifying Prineth, because any adventurer needs somewhere to come back to, and they need somewhere safe in Agos. And that is why, as you approach, you can see this triple-tiered town, and you can see relief and hope and busyness as the town begins to awake. And the 3 of you in the Panda Express approach. You approach the gates to Prineth. And there is a gate, and there's 2 towers there, and there are guards in these blue garbs. And they look down upon you. What do? You just try to roll through. The gate is currently closed. You just try to... What is your strategy there?
I'm just gonna approach and be like, "Hey, what's going on, fellas?"
Good morning.
Oh. And one of the guards from above kind of gives you a wave and says, "State your business."
Well, my business is the Panda Express. My name's Custom. I am a purveyor of delicious grub and noms, my guy.
And so you see him kind of, from where your vantage, you can kind of see him jot down some notes. And he motions, and this gate begins to raise up.
It worked.
I mean, you came from the docks, and you're on the path to Prineth.
And Panda Express is written right across the side of the car.
Yeah,
Checks out.
There isn't.
Checks out.
You weren't. Okay, got it.
We solved the gate puzzle.
Let me
Listen.
rephrase. You snuck in, Kato. You did it.
No,
You
I was
fucking
gonna speak Elven to that
Infiltrated.
gate. I was gonna speak to that gate in
that's a good
Elvish.
point. Shit, you didn't even try to open the door. As you approach, you didn't speak Elven, so it slams shut in your face. Sugar and spice
I'm dead.
rattle.
Do we hold hands as we go across?
Decapitating
No, actually, Sugar and Spice made it to the other side. You three get killed.
Everyone
This is a Sugar and Spice episode now.
They're free now.
Hey, my true character emerges. Two donkeys.
Yep. So Sugar and Spice gently pull you along, and you go under this gate. And now you can see the full magnitude of Prineth, which is a large city, and it stands to the tune of 120 feet into the air.
Wow. That's
it
the
is
very
large.
top, right? The very top is
120 feet is the tippy top.
Okay.
The bottom level is 40 feet tall, middle level is 40 feet tall, top level is the sky's the limit. Obviously, architectural concerns. And then as you approach, you can see the surrounding land. There is walls. There's one giant wall with watchtowers spread across them that almost makes this sense of security. And then inside of those, leading up to Prineth, which is dead center to this wall, is farmland and orchards, and clearly how they are trying to produce food for everybody who actually has to work and function in Prineth that isn't an adventurer or an archaeologist, because you have to maintain these people somehow. And you're on this cobblestone road just trekking along, heading towards Prineth, and you're starting to see different races of worker, or different species, but races, come on, like orcs and elves and dwarves. They're starting to come into the farm and starting to do their work, and carts are starting to pass you. Simple trade carts, some just pulling people headed towards the docks. And you begin your final approach into Prineth as this tower of a city, this monolith of a city, stretches into the sky, getting ever larger as you approach. So as you approach Prineth proper, you're greeted by almost the economical or trade district as the first entrance to come in if you're just following the path, right? Always greet you with stores and merchants. And as the city is waking up, you see it. You see shops of meat traders, fish traders, people selling clothes and garments, and places for knickknacks and baubles. It is a trading hub on this first floor in this first little region, this first section of Prineth. And it is a sight to behold, because Agos is supposed to be the new frontier, but to see such commercialism and level of trade here was not what any of you would have been expecting. And so you're now on the first floor, the bottom tier of Prineth. What do you want to do?
At that time, I will also pull out my Derringer's Way Home, my amulet, and see which direction it will point in.
Yeah, all right, so you activate it, and it's going to spin, and slowly it's going to point you northeast, essentially.
Okay, but I would not know if that is like a first or second or third tier, correct?
You would know, for the sake of convenience, you kind of lift it up, and it doesn't really change direction or whatever, right? So you lower it level again, and you can tell that it's on the bottom tier.
Okay. It appears that we have an estate that is in fact close by, and it's in that general direction.
Right on. No place like home.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
This place is amazing. It looks like it has a lot of benefits to you, especially Gustum, in the way of food and things to cook up. Perhaps you could even open your own shop here.
You're riding in it, my guy.
I know, but one that
Shop
could
on
be
wheels.
stationary while you also travel. 2 shops.
That's, I mean, maybe one day, a little expansion.
And a family. A family business.
Well, I don't know about bringing May all the way out here to this place, but
Well, it is said to be rather dangerous.
we gotta have some roots set down, you know?
Gustum,
Yo.
as you're marching your cart along, you're heading northeast. You spy out of your little eye. You see this small childlike figure, kind of jump up on the side of your cart on the left-hand side. Yeah, left-hand side, and they're starting to open the thing that raises up so they can get into your cart.
What you doing, little dude?
And hearing that, he's the child like reaches in to your cart and grabs like the nearest thing that looks like food and jumps off. What would that be? Just out on the counter, if anything.
It would probably be like some bread.
Yeah.
probably
So
like
he
a
grabs
loaf
like
of
a like a half a loaf of bread, drops, and bolts.
It's better if you let me cook it, my dude.
Tastes
And
better
so-
with jam.
And the chat is the dragon pepper flakes. No.
He's dead. We'll find his body very soon.
Immediately incinerates.
So
That's on the stat block for Dragon Pepper Flakes. Immediately incinerates any orphans who consume it. Specifically orphans. A starting orphan who consumes this will incinerate instantly.
You're hearing the bustle of this city, the trades, and while you're traveling, there's other carts going by. There are people in the streets, so you're not making the best time. And you are at this point now kind of watching for people around your cart.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's not that this city is meant to be dangerous, but clearly it's not the perfect city. This is not an oasis, as it were.
Yeah.
Yes, Kato.
As we walk around, I mean, I could do a perception perhaps, but do I see any other, like, what is the makeup? You said it's mixed races here, so but I see any Warforged specifically?
Oh, would you have seen Warforged on the bottom tier?
Yeah, are there any, like, here?
So let me answer that question with, you haven't seen any Warforged, but you know this is a melting pot. It's likely that you're going to run into one.
Okay.
But you
Good
haven't
enough.
seen any so far.
Okay.
Yes.
I would like to sit
Darwin.
I would like to sit on top of the cart, kind of like, you know, when you lay down, arms crossed, looking at everything, feet up in the air, kind of kicking, tail wagging, watching everything, seeing the sights.
And you do, and you look up, you lay back on this cart, and it's a little bumpy. It's almost like magic fingers from the old hotels days, right? You lay back on this cart. It's a little bumpy. It's almost like a massage. And you look up, and you're looking up at these shops that also have homes above them that are 2 and 3 stories. And then you get to look up, and you can see the bottom of the second tier, the plate, and you can see that it is built with a combination of wood and metals, and every so often you almost see these like glowing gems essentially, and it is actually fairly aesthetically pleasing to the eye. While it's industrial at its core, it does not look like it was shabbily thrown together.
Very neat.
Shoddily thrown together, excuse me. A little weird word.
Shabbily is a good word.
Very nice. Well, I would just like to keep an eye out for pretty things out there, and maybe keep an eye out for a place for Kato to maybe do his trade with meats. Or at least to see if there's a sign
that's good.
somewhere close to eye level and be like,
The meat store.
Oh, does Kato actually care about that?
Yeah, he does. I think having money to fund the whatever is important.
It's not hard.
He wants to feel like he's contributing.
It's not hard for you to find just a standard like butcher's cart or butcher's stand that you can trade that meat for the coin.
Right. I don't know if we have to do a whole thing.
Sure don't.
Okay, cool.
But I just wanted to make it your responsibility to do it.
So I will move that now from my notes of being items I have to trade to the funds that you have allotted for that.
And I do have a shit ton of stores and stuff like that, but for something simple like that, we don't need to derail the start of our show, start of our story for that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Unless you really were invested in getting your small amount of coin for a roleplay moment.
Nah.
So it is some you stop.
There'll be time.
You stop for a minute so Kato can exchange his meat for his coin, and you trug along a little bit.
That's a different business, my dude. Yep. I will do that again later.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even
There's
have
an extension that you had put on. Anyways, so
sorry, we only take Electrum.
I specifically did not get that.
So
do you have an exchange rate?
You're able to move the Panda Express through the almost traffic jam of the city, being mindful of the carts and the different people. And it's not long before you come upon a 3-story home. And again, this home has very sharp angles, shingles on the roof, and not those. And then at the base, or not the base, the top of this, just below the A-frame, there's the Derringer family crest.
oh look, this is Dad's house again.
We're here!
Darling. This fucker again. Love it.
So this estate, as you say, is it because it's kind of in town, right? But is it kind of off to? So does it have like a lot of land that it's sitting on, or is it just a giant home?
It is a 3-story home, and it has a little bit of land around it, not a lot.
Okay. It's not like the original place we're from. Where it's got like
No.
Okay.
You do not have fields and fields. You can tell this is a field estate, right? He's got a townhome-esque type deal. Got a little bit of yard.
Okay.
Like there's a little bit of a backyard that you could like pull your cart back in there.
Thank goodness. I was like, I don't feel safe leaving it on the street.
And park it back there.
It'll be torn apart by ragamuffins.
I thought about this when I was like, designing this place that you guys would come back to. I was like, he's gonna have a car. It would be shitty to be like, all right, cool. So you street parking. Let's talk about that.
That's the hill.
You gotta find the biggest, strongest orphan and pay him to beat up the little ones so they don't.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you arrive at the Derringer Field Estate.
I'm gonna waltz on in.
Other people milling about? Yeah, let's. Yeah.
I'm gonna start making breakfast.
Okay, so I assume you'll pull the cart around back?
Yeah, I'll pull the cart around back, and I'm not making a huge meal, but just for the family.
Do you guys go in the back or the front door?
Back's closest.
Yeah.
Devin's smiling. It's a question.
I know. I'm going to go in the back door. I'm going to go in wherever they're going. I'm not going to go. That's why I'm smiling. I'm going to go in the back door.
The door's locked.
I
kick it in.
Curse at it in Elvish. Wait, no.
The key is,
something we would do with our necklace?
Not want to go through the door.
That's true.
You don't want to go through the door.
No specific plan, and then say you're playing in Elvish, and that's how you get in the door.
Then you get in the door.
It's a remix
Campaign
of all
5, The Curse of Doors.
I know.
I pull out the necklace, and I don't know if this is a thing we've done before, but put it to kind of the lock.
Yeah, the door doesn't change in any way, shape, or form.
or knock on the door?
You do, and you knock.
Just knock
Is
on
this
it.
police knock? Is this simple knock? How are you doing this?
It's not like an obtrusive, like I'm not trying to like bust down the door. I'm just somebody's close by that hears
It's very
this.
mechanical.
If they're
You
inside,
knock on the door.
Okay.
And so Kato knocks on the door. 3 loud raps. Knock, knock, knock. And you almost like hear them echo from outside, right? Like you kind of hear them move throughout the home.
The sound reverberating off of the walls inside makes me think that the place is fairly empty.
Darling's just gonna go for the window. Toddy always said there was a window open for her, and this is just out of habit at this point.
Roll me an athletics check.
Yeah, sure. Two. Natural 1.
Darling looks up because she's right. He's always said he'll leave a window open. Darling looks up, and on the 3rd floor, you see a window that looks like maybe it'll be unlocked. You start crawling up on the 1st floor. You get up the 1st floor. You start making it up the 2nd. Then you just kind of slide back down, and you kind of like are like holding, like whoops. So, you guys can help her climb. You guys can try to take a different route, or if enough time passes, you can try to climb the house again.
I'm making breakfast burritos.
In the cart.
I
So you just
will,
pull the cart out. You're
how
cooking
high up
outside.
is it?
All right. Go ahead.
How high up is it again?
Where she
I
is?
cast guidance as I cook breakfast burritos. Here you go.
Yeah, where she's at.
like 15 feet up. She's got another 15 to go.
Cool. I will manifest my shadow to hang on to where she's at.
Uh-huh.
And then, I don't know if you let me do it, but then I'll teleport to that. So now it's me that I can grab down to her and help boost her up to the
So you're going to
third
manifest
window.
shadow up 15 feet from where you are, or 15 feet from where she
Yep.
is.
From where
Okay.
I am to where she's at, because you said she's up about
Yeah.
15. That's the max
Okay.
for. So then teleport, we flip. Now I'm there,
Yeah, sure.
and I'm going to grab
Kinda
help
shove her
and
up?
use help
Yeah.
to help push her.
Doing that, you two
Sweet.
can break into the Derringer estate. So, Darlin, you're able to finesse your way up to this 3rd floor window, and it's not unlocked, but it's locked in the way that Toddy always did, where it's locked enough that you could jiggle it free,
Mhm.
but it was never like unlocked. Does that make sense? It's like you almost latched it.
Okay.
So you
I'm gonna
jiggle
try
the
and-
window free.
Yeah, sweet. I'll help Kato up. Like, arm down. Like, well, he can climb the rest of the way. I'll help this much.
He like lets you think that you've really helped. He said, I appreciate your help very much. You were very, very helpful there in that transaction.
Oh,
Yeah, and so you
well,
guys are
you're
able to
welcome.
crawl into the 3rd floor of the Derringer estate.
Is it as empty as I thought it was when I knocked on the door? What do I see?
The home is not empty. There are furnishings there. It's all like you've almost climbed into someone's room. But it is not
okay.
personalized in any way, shape, or form. It is just a room. There's a bed. There's a bookcase with a scattering of books on it. And you're in this room with the door shut.
I'm gonna yell back down to Gustum. Like, we'll get the door. 1 moment. Close the window. I want to walk through our house. Like, this is our house.
And so you do. This home you've never been to, this estate you've never been to, you walk the estate. Do you go to like find the quickest path to get to the back door, or do you just kind of explore and leave Gustum outside?
I'm going to go get him. I said I
Okay.
was going to get him.
Sure. So
I would explore.
okay. Then, Darling, you find your way. You kind of come out of the room. You find the staircase. You take a couple flights down. You make your way through the kitchen and to the back door, and you're able to unlock it and alert Gustum.
Almost done.
And
I'll leave
so-
it unlocked.
And so now you two may explore this estate. And this is a 3-story building with a dozen rooms, truly. Rooms that are meant for any of the Derringer kids to stay. You can see that none of them are quite personalized. It has a foyer. It has a foyer. It has a full kitchen. There's a large study. It is to note that each room has its own like bathroom situation. Again, this is these Victorian, these sharp edges. It is built with pride, and it was not cheaply built, right? He spent money on making this a home for his kids, and of course there's a large sitting room in the bottom floor that has a big hearth that leads up to the chimney, right? Like hearthbound, a place for everyone to sit and chat and be together. It is important. Roll a perception check, you two.
Yeah, sure.
That is a 15 for me.
Okay.
I'm rolling real low this evening. That's a 9.
With a 15, you notice, Kato, that it doesn't appear that anybody has been here in some time.
Looks like we are the first to arrive of all of our siblings.
Really? We're supposed to be greeted. I want to go pull out my letter just to make sure I've got it correctly.
Lost the paperwork.
I want to go over her shoulder as she reads it to be like right there reading it as well.
Creepy.
Did you not get the welcome packet?
Did you lose yours already?
Kato, you're the oldest brother. You're supposed to give everybody the welcome packets.
Can my food be done?
Yeah, your food's done, man. I was just waiting on you to finish it.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready. I'm going to walk in, and I've got breakfast burritos with onions, peppers, sausage, eggs, cheese, and then it's got like a little glaze on it that I made with like honey and garlic and chilies. Super good and tasty. I'm going to need y'all to eat these. I made mine special with a little bit of shunt meat.
It does smell quite delectable.
I'm going to have to insist that you eat this.
It's an 18. He absolutely does.
I mean, yeah, darling will eat it. I feel like she just takes it and eats it anyway. Like, you just hand it to her, it doesn't matter. She'll just pop it in her mouth anyway.
You need your 2 temp HP for the day.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You should do this for a living.
I literally do.
It does not appear that there is a Vanessa who has been here in some time as well. According to our letters, Sister can attest, we should have seen a Vanessa here to meet us at the estate.
Whoa.
Indeed.
Where's Vanessa at, then?
Perhaps there is a note somewhere.
Yes, I will find the note.
I'll find it first.
And he'll run away up to the second floor. That's where we'll start on the second floor.
I'm gonna start in the kitchen. You know how people leave notes on the fridge? I want that.
Gustum is going to start looking for mice.
He's like, found it. We all run back down. It's just a mouse tail hanging out of his mouth.
I'm not going to eat the mouse. I'm going to cast Speak with Animals, and I'm going to see if there's any mice or spiders or any, critters in this house that might know what's going on.
Fair enough.
Love it.
What I will say is Darling and Kato roll investigation checks, and Gustum, roll me a perception check.
I rolled a 7.
An 11.
Natural 20 for 26.
Yeah.
Wang.
So Gustum, you... Yeah, I mean, I hate to say there's mice in this house, man, but I guess there could be mice in any house, especially in a city like this. So
it's not a big deal.
You're able to sniff out a mouse, and you want to cast Speak with Animals on it.
I do.
Is this what I'm hearing?
That is what I would like to do.
Yeah, and so you do. You cast Speak with Animals.
So what anybody would hear if they approach is be like, a squeak squeak, a squeak is squeak, a squeaker squeakingson, squeak squeaks, a squeak is squeak. But what the mouse will hear, obviously, is, what's up, little friend? Would you like some cheddar?
Yeah, and I think... How do I want to do this? Do I want to roleplay a mouse?
Do a tiny little mouse voice. You have to. It's so fun.
Tiny voice?
Okay, let's see. I would love... No, that's little...
It's perfect. Okay. You did it.
I would love cheddar, please.
Here you go, my little dude. Like a little cheese.
You're much nicer than the other.
Yeah, this is my house, actually. So, like, I've been away for a while, but, like, I live here now. So if you need anything, you come see Gus.
Okay. Thanks, Gus.
Has anybody else been around?
No. Nope, the other lady's been gone for a while now.
Oh, wow. Did she just leave? Did anything happen, or?
She seemed to be in a hurry. She didn't say much to me about it, though. Rude.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know. That's finesse for you. So you haven't seen anything crazy other than that?
Nope, not since she left.
All right, man. We'll keep you.
Seemed in a worry.
Keep your nose down. Look out for cats, and if you need anything, come talk to old Gus.
Cats? He just vanishes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good instinct.
Okay.
I made a new friend.
Yeah. With your rolls, you guys, it takes you a while, but you're able to find Vanessa's room. And let me just go check those rolls again. 11 and 9.
Who found that room?
Yeah.
Yes, who found that room?
Who had that roll?
Yeah, Darling won. Wait, hold on. Let me check those rolls. What did you roll?
I think I had a 7.
Yeah, you had a 7. So Darling won. Darling was
How about the friends we made along the way? Gus won.
Yeah, that's true. Gus did.
The friends we made along the way. Who really won?
Who's got a new mouse friend?
Darling, you find like I said, there's about a dozen rooms here, and for the most part they're unoccupied, except for one. You find one that the door was shut. You go in and you can see that there's a person's stuff still there, and you can tell that it probably was Vanessa's because there's some female clothing and some of her books and belongings. Yeah, you find her room.
I'm gonna look for books, but she's gonna poke her head out the door. Hey, Kato. I won.
Yeah, what? You won what?
I found the room up here.
You lie! And you hear just the boom, boom as he runs toward wherever her voice is coming from.
Stop.
She's gonna close the door so he has to figure out which door at least. And then she's gonna check out all Vanessa's stuff to see like any journals and stuff. I figured since Toddy probably kept journals of his adventures, might be similar nature in other Derringer children. I hope, maybe.
Roll me another investigation check. See how well you do. Hey, Kato, you do go through a couple doors, and eventually as you open the door to see her sniffing about and looking into the area.
Oh, you did win. Impeccable. Great job, sis.
Not really.
Yeah, it's a 3.
It's a 3.
Should probably just move the bed.
Yeah, so with a 3, you're looking around, and what you can determine is that Vanessa left on purpose and not under duress. She clearly took time to pack things before she left.
I would like to see if there's anything Like, I don't know if there's like a symbol someone might leave behind, because if she is expecting us, then I would suspect that perhaps she left something behind as well for us to find.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's magic in nature. I know but I want to do an Arcana check.
Gustum would be in the kitchen.
Okay. Yeah. So Gustum, you look around the kitchen, and you don't find a note or any type of instruction.
I'm not looking for notes.
Okay. You're just checking out the kitchen.
What's the food situation look like?
There is food. There's a lot of dry
pantry
foods, rice, grains, stuff like that you would have to make into food. But there's plenty of food that if you wanted to stay here, you'd have a while's worth of food without having to purchase.
Wiki.
You want your magic, you're trying to sense magic?
Yes.
You don't have like an ability to sense magic.
I have magical colored eyes that when I want to check for magic, they change color. Chameleon eyes, I call it. I guess that's the thing. I probably should remove Arcana as a thing that I have.
Arcana is to understand magical items or understand things, not a blanket. Can I detect magic? Yeah, that's a whole spell and concept around.
Son of a biscuit.
Let me ask you this question, Devin. What are you trying to find?
Yeah, what are you trying to learn?
I just want to know if there's some like we probably would know. Like there's something that I don't know if this is a time where we use that. But
I was going to say, let me pause it to you.
Wait, we don't have any right now.
We do. We have one per level.
Everybody has one.
I want to use mine right now.
So let's talk about this. So
I was hoping you would.
We have this mechanic that we're bringing to this, where every level, each character gets one memory of Declan Derringer, and they can use that to either overcome an obstacle, temporarily use a skill or proficiency, potentially cast detect magic. If it, we're gonna play with how fast and loose those things are. But Devin, tell me what memory you're going to play back and what you're trying to achieve with that memory.
Yeah, so the memory that I have is when it's before probably any of the other orphans were found. It was probably soon, a year or two after I had been reactivated by Declan, as he was still a teenager or early adult, 19, 20, 21, something like that. He was probably already an accomplished hunter, tracker. And so while we're out one day, he begins to leave the way he's laying like broken twigs or looking at broken twigs, or he's leaving some cloth behind or something. And I question him and I ask him why he's doing that. And he says that others who come this way, he's kind of leaving a track for those who he knows, for them to be able to know what's up ahead as well. So not just about the creature he's tracking, but about the topography of that area, any dangers that might be ahead, food or berries that are around. So basically he's just leaving a sign for others who have come before him that they would recognize. Almost kind of like a nature's thieves' cant. And so that for me, he would in a very similar way, he would at times test me to find things in the house when he had been gone for a long time. And I would find those notes about like where he was going. So I could always tell the kids because he left them for me.
I like that. And I think that it's not as much as he's teaching you this thieves' cant in the nature, as much as he's teaching you a way to communicate with the family when you need to leave a message that you don't necessarily want everybody to see. And so as you're like looking around and reminiscing and then seeing your family home, it's because it's not your family home, but man, does it feel like it. It feels like home. There's definitely similarities. And you remember something that Declan consistently talks about, which is family and going hearthbound. And so you make your way to the sitting room. And you are able to reach up, just kind of looking around up under the hearth, and you pull free a letter. And that's where we're going to end this episode.
Ooh, very nice.
Yes.
Good use.
God damn it. He won.
He won.
He secretly won.
I won.
Shane.
Yo.
Do me the greatest of honors. And can you roll us through the roll through humanity?
I'd love to. This is going to be Operation Comics Relief still. We'll be rolling for them. Great organization, helping guys downrange by sending them cool comic books. That is going to be a 14.
Wow.
Nice. That is a number already. Like 19, 15, 14. They are killing it.
Stacking up.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for letting me tell you a story, and let's go into our new bit, our holy scriptures, as it were. And let me give you a quote. Let me give you something just to kind of chew on. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the chat. And this quote is: "We understand how dangerous a mask can be. We all become what we pretend to be." And that is a quote from Patrick Rothfuss from The Name of the Wind.
Good close personal friend, Pat.
That's true. We have played with that. So, Shane, if you'd like to elaborate on that.
Well, yeah, man. It's pretty straightforward. It's you act and assert yourself in a certain way whenever you interact with the world. And a lot of us aren't being true to ourselves, aren't being genuine. And the problem comes when that becomes who you really are. So you might go around the world acting like a tough guy because you want the world to see you as a tough guy. And you want to be this intimidating force. And then eventually you kind of just become a jerk or a bully. You got to be careful. Never let the stage persona take over. Be like me. Be super grounded.
Devin.
My whole thing about this is I'm a terrible dad, but I wear the mask that says I'm a pretty decent dad. And so eventually I just became a pretty decent dad. Now I can't get out of it.
Well, fake it till you make it.
Mask won't come off.
Yeah, fake it till you make
we
it.
Are.
Spin. I like that. That's good.
And so I think, sometimes wearing a mask is a good thing. Unless you're a murderer.
Then it's a great thing.
That's a great thing.
Because it keeps your identity
Or it's
safe.
Halloween. Yeah, wearing a mask at Halloween too. Avon.
Yeah, I think we all need to be wary about like what we do and how we present ourselves. Because yes, you put on a mask, but sometimes it helps you become a better person, or like tackle on things you didn't think you could tackle on before. For example, I play a very outgoing bard in another game, and she's very extroverted. That's the opposite of me. But putting on that mask kind of makes me feel a bit more confident into who I kind of want to be, and I apply the positive traits I wish to see in that character and try to put it back into myself. So be wary of a mask and hopefully pick the good things.
I love it. Thank you all for giving our listeners wisdom out of our silly podcast. And so let's say what we always say. We love you.
We love you.
I didn't do it. Oh, I love you.
Bye. It was the man in the mask. You're on.
Bye.